Welcome to Flipped Classroom. This lesson is on programming basics and we're looking at Python, and today's lesson is looking at setting up PyCharm. Our learning intention for today is we are learning about PyCharm and the edu tools, and our success criteria is I am successful when I can install PyCharm, I can add the plugins for edu tools, and I can create my first program. So I'll be showing this on a Windows PC. However, for a Mac, it is very similar in the PyCharm interface. So on Windows, all you've got to do is click on the Windows button in the bottom left corner and start typing PyCharm. It will either come up as PyCharm Community Edition or PyCharm Edu Edition. If you have the Edu Edition, you won't need to add the Edu Tools plugin because it's already there. Both of these are linked in the bottom if you do not have it installed. The first time that you run the program, it tries to set up for an initial configuration. If you've already used PyCharm, you can copy over the configuration by using the import form. However, on most computers, you don't need to worry about this and you can just click OK. You can read through the terms and conditions. Once you've done that, you click on the confirm that you've read it and hit the continue button. Next, it'll ask about data sharing. Now, for a school network, I would recommend you don't send, as this can clog up the network and cause some issues with some network proxies. Next step is setting up the color scheme. Looking at a screen that is mostly white can be hard on the eyes. I actually prefer having the darker color scheme when I'm programming. Once you've chosen your color scheme, you can click on the skip remaining and set defaults button, as we don't need to make too many other changes. Once we've set up PyCharm, we need to make sure that the proxy is correct. For a school network, sometimes you need to change the settings. So down the bottom in configure, go to settings, and then in there, click on HTTP proxy and select the auto detect button and then click OK. For some networks, you might need to type in an automatic configuration or the manual proxy settings, but in most, the auto detect should work. If you've already got the edu tools, you can skip this part, but if it does not come up with the learn and teach section on this page, we need to add it. So again, in the configuration section, go to plugins, and in plugins, search for edu tools. Once you've installed it, you can click on the restart IDE. It will restart the program, and now it will have in there a learn and teach section. So we can click on that learn and teach and select browse courses. We're going to start off with the introduction to Python course in the community courses. Once I've selected that, I can choose to log in. Now this is optional, however it is recommended, as if you move from one computer to another, it synchronizes between the computers. So you can click to sign in, you can click on your sign in through Google and use your school email address. Once it connects through there, it will ask to authorize. Once it's done that, you'll be linked in. Now you may need to do this on another computer so that it will copy over the information as well when you're at that computer. Next is the interface. It will take a little while to load because there's a lot to load for this. On the left hand side we have our project, and in this case it is the lesson. In the section is the code, and on the right hand side is some instructions and also any hints or help that might be useful. Make sure you read the instructions and edit the code with what it is asking. Now once you've edited the code, you can run the code to make sure that it does what you expect. Sometimes it is up the top, other times there is a tab that you can click that has the little play button. So you can click the run button to run the code, and once you've run it and you can see that it's working, you can click on the check to see if you have passed that lesson. I will go into my PyCharm and I'll show you how to program the first lesson. So for our first program, we are looking at a Hello World program. This is usually the first program that you do in most programming languages. So on the left hand side, I've got selected my first lesson, which is Hello World. I've got the code in the middle here, and on the right hand side is the instructions. Now our instruction says here to change and type in your name. So our instructions over here, it has information about what this is doing. So for the first off, I'm going to type my name in here. So in my version here, I've got the play button at the side. There are some versions that have a run button up the top. I will click the play button to test my program. The test window comes down here and it says, "Hello world, my name is Mr. Marshall." What this is doing is it's using the command print, and then it's passing everything that's in these brackets as variables, and the variable is a string that is that text there, and that's the text that is outputted onto the computer. So once I've done that, I can check it against the system and it comes up that it has been finished, and then I can go to my next section. This will be the end of this topic. Next section we will be looking at comments and then starting on variables.